Good evening, everybody. Let's get this mic in my face so you guys can hear me. I am still in Vietnam. I assume you guys are still in Japan somewhere. So, welcome to my little live stream here. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're listening because, after all, this is why I'm here to give you something to listen to, give you something to think about, and hopefully give you something to talk about. And honestly, we should get into this because if you have nobody to talk to in English, what are you going to do? How are you going to get better? Can you actually get better? And it is my opinion that you can't. So please listen up. All right. When I was studying Japanese for the first time, I was about 18 years old. I was still in California. I knew I wanted to go to Japan, so I started prepping myself to get ready, right? So I got this textbook from the bookstore, the Japanese bookstore over in Costa Mesa, and I got myself a textbook. So I read it every single day. And guess what happened? As soon as I got to Japan, I could not speak to anybody. The only thing I remember, and I do remember this clearly because I was talking to my host dad, I said, "Toire wa doko desu ka?" Like I could pull out one sentence, but I had studied and prepped and prepared myself to go to Japan for like a year, reading a textbook, right? And when I got to Japan, I could not speak, I could not understand anything. So it was like, well, did the textbook mean anything at all? And it's strange, but as soon as I got to Japan, though, I started getting better really quick. And the reason is not because I had a textbook, even though I had a textbook, I had two or three, but the reason why I got better at speaking Japanese is because I spoke Japanese. I know this sounds a little kind of like ironic or like obvious, but like because I spoke Japanese to people, I was able to get better at speaking Japanese. So, good evening, XX. So, basically, this begs the question, guys, can you get better at speaking English if you don't have anybody to talk to? And I'm just going to say very clearly, just for argument's sake, no, you're not going to get better. You guys have been studying for how long now? Junior high, high school, college, eikyo gakko, right? Like that's a lot of years, right? That's at least 6 years. I would say on average, most people probably have been studying English for 10 years. So if you don't feel like you're confident in your English, right? And you're still going to school, you're still watching YouTube videos, right? Are you going to get better? And the answer is no. You're never going to get better unless you actually talk to somebody. はっきり言いましたよね. So, guys, do you have anybody to talk to? And so I do my little seminar every week. Maybe you guys know about the seminar, maybe you don't. But every single week, I ask this question and I say, hey, do you guys have somebody to talk to in English besides your teacher? And the answer is 80% no. And it's just like, well, guys, guess what? I'm sorry to say this, but you're not going to get better. You're not going to be able to practice. I mean, you want to speak English, then you speak English. It's like, hey, I want to ride a bike. So I'm going to watch a video about riding a bike. Then I'm going to read a manga about riding a bike. And then I'm going to watch somebody else ride a bike. And then I'm going to watch somebody else ride a bike. But until you actually ride a bike, you're never going to get better at riding a bike. I know it's obvious, right? So, again, can you get better at speaking English if you have nobody to talk to? So, let me ask this. I'm going to make a poll right now. Here. しかも、まあ、日本語で書いとこうか。ちょっと待って、日本語ね。ちょっと待って。Come on, I always spell it wrong. Okay, let's see here. Hold on, guys. I'm making an angeto. 話す相手がいる. Jesus Christ, I'm so horrible at spelling. And then watch this. Sensei igai. Okay. All right. So There we go. Anketo dashimashita ne. I just want to hear what you guys think or what your situation is. And I'll give it a few minutes for people to answer yes or no. But basically, if you don't have, and I'm going to guess, I can already guess that the answer is going to be no, because I've talked to a lot of people, believe it or not. And basically, guys, you got to get out there and you got to talk to somebody. You have to, you must. There is no alternative. There is nothing you can do to substitute a conversation with conversation. It's well, good evening here. So Zool-san ですね. Thank you very much. I'm studying English now, but I'm very difficult. So yeah, that's fine. The difficult is obvious. It's obviously going to be difficult from the beginning. But the only thing that you can do, and by only I mean only, like there is no other alternative. The only thing you can do to get better at speaking English is to speak English. That means you need somebody to talk to. You can maybe do something by yourself, like you could like look in the mirror or something like that. You can get a video camera and just record yourself. That's okay, but like that's something you can do after you start talking about somebody, because you really got to like, with like real people, you got to listen to real people, and then you got to talk back. Like I know what I'm saying is like super obvious, and it's just kind of like, well, this is the stupidest lesson on the planet. But no, actually, this is the best lesson on the planet right now. The one you're watching right now, the one you're listening to, is the best lesson on the planet, because there is no good lesson. I really want you guys to understand that. And I could say it every single week if I have to, but there is no good lesson anymore. All you guys got to do is get outside and talk to somebody. I swear, if you've been studying English for 6 years, you've had enough lessons. Stop taking lessons. Stop watching YouTube. Get outside and go talk to somebody now, ASAP, immediately, because you've seen enough, you've heard enough. There's nothing more that you could listen to that's going to make you get better. The only thing that's going to make you get better is opening your mouth and opening your vocal cords and like mimicking the sounds that you actually hear by real people. And again, you've seen enough lessons, and I'll talk about this. I'm going to make a video soon about this one lesson that I saw. I just thought it was mind blowing, because I think it was AK English. She's like, hey, everybody repeat after me, and it was like, 後で連絡するわ. Like, 後で連絡するわって結構カジュアル的な言い方じゃない。でも、彼女の英語の例文が、I will contact you later って。And I was just like, oh my God, but that's not a natural way of saying that. Nobody says, I will contact you later. Like, 自称みたいな喋り方で。ね? Like, if you've been in reality, if you've ever talked to an American, you would know that I'll hit you up later is what you say. I'll hit you up. Yeah, man, I'll hit you up later. Like, that's how you say 後で連絡するわ, right? But I'm just like, okay, so here's this lesson going out, and then thousands of people see the lesson and they're like, wow, I'm learning English. And I was like, no, you're not. You're not. Yeah, you're learning like a textbook version, but that's not how you say 後で連絡するわ. Like and so there's so many, and that's just one example. But there are so many lessons out there that are deceiving you from what's actually being uttered by people in reality. So, my general overall philosophy is, you've seen enough lessons, you've had enough lessons. So, just stop. I mean, you could even stop watching this video right now and go outside and talk to somebody, and you will get 100 times more experience points, and you will get like 4% better, 5% more better than you would have if you would have watched this video. You guys listening? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Because again, I'm trying to talk in English to you guys, trying to give you guys the real deal. I'm trying to talk to you as if we were talking to each other, as if we spoke English naturally. And it's really hard for me to say, like, oh, who's the beginner here? Who's advanced, right? Oh, you're a beginner, you're advanced, right? So I got to be like talking slowly. So, have you talked to anybody in English recently? みたいな、ゆっくりみたいな喋り方したくないし、ね、I just want to talk. I want to talk normally, and this is how I do it. And I find myself pretty frustrated sometimes because, I do want to communicate with you guys and I want you to understand. And so that's why I make the videos that I do in Japanese because I really want you to understand what I'm saying. And so, step by step, you got to phase yourself out of two things. You got to phase yourself out of Japanese, one, when you're practicing English, right? And two, you got to phase yourself out of lessons. You got to phase yourself. You got to just, you can do a cold turkey approach and just do it. But so many people be like, what? Like, this is too hard. Kai Senpai, you talk too fast. Like, I can't handle normal, regular English. I'm like, I know, because you never practiced it. You never prepared for it. You've been watching these stupid lessons from junior high school. It's not your fault, by the way. Like you kensaku eigo lesson, kensaku shitara, you get these lessons and you get exactly what you look for, but you got to get away from lessons. I can write with AI, but I can't do anything else. Well, you can get out there and you can talk to somebody in reality. That's what you can do. Surprise. Like, I don't want to sound uh, nagging and I don't want to be mean about this, but you got to get outside and you got to talk to people. You got to go to a cafe. You got to go to a gym. You got to go to a park. You got to go to a temple. You got to go to a train station. You got to go anywhere at all where there could possibly be an English speaker, and you got to get out there and you talk. You got to talk. That's what you got to do, and that's what you have to do, and that's what you must do. There is no alternative. So you say I can write with AI, and that's not going to help you. It's not. Let's not. ロボット、人間の代わりにロボット使わないでください。ね、これもう本当に日本語で言っちゃおうか。Look, I want to keep saying it in English because, again, I want to benefit everybody that's actually learning English right now. But look, human evolution. For hundreds of thousands of years, we spoke to each other before we even had a written alphabet, right? And the written alphabet, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, kind of humans first started writing things down, and I think it was Mesopotamia, something like that, just a couple thousand years ago, maybe 3 or 4 thousand years ago. So, which came first, written language or spoken language? And I'm telling y'all, it's been spoken language. We've been speaking to each other. That is how we learn language. A baby listens to mom and dad and the brothers and the sisters and the cousins and the friends and the neighbors. And it just mimics what it hears. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. You cannot replace human experience. You cannot replace it with a book. You cannot replace it with a robot. You cannot replace it with a video. You got to get out there and you got to get your brain to actually interact with real people and get real feedback. Your ears have to listen to real sound, and your mouth actually has to open, and it actually has to try to say something, and it has to make mistakes. You have to basically fall off your bike in order to learn how to keep your balance, right? This is the only way. So if you get off of this lesson right now and you go outside and talk to somebody, even if you say hi, you're going to get better in like 5 minutes because you actually used your voice and you actually talked to somebody. Of course, you can get better and have more conversation from there. But you really got to get out there and talk to somebody. Same day listening. You just go, oh, cool. So Zola-san, that's fine too, because you're just in junior high. So I assume I'm talking to adults, right? So forgive me. But yeah, if you truly are a beginner, like a junior high student, then yes, go ahead and listen to music. Go ahead and listen to podcasts. Go ahead and listen to TV shows. Go ahead and listen to movies. Like, that is exactly what you should be doing, because you need to be doing this input kind of thing like as much as possible. You got to be listening to real sounds from real people, from real media. And that's fine. When I first moved to Japan, I was watching a lot of Japanese TV because like I needed to hear what it sounded like. And I watched a lot of comedy, and the comedy really helped me with my listening. So as a beginner, I would say totally listen to music, listen to TV shows, listen. And eventually you have like this like capacity in your brain and you listen, right? So you're listening. And then one day it kind of spills out and you're going to have to start talking. But that day, you'll feel it when it comes, but you're only going to feel it if you put yourself in the position of talking to somebody, like you go out and actually talk to somebody in reality. So, for if you're in junior high school, just keep listening. Don't worry about it. Listen to anything you like. Music, British, American, doesn't matter. Just have fun while you do it and enjoy it. As long as it's interesting to you, as long as you're enjoying it, then you're on the right path. You're preparing yourself for the day that you actually do talk to somebody. So there's no replacement for talking to somebody. It's just that you really got to prep yourself with a lot of listening. So again, that's why I talk as if I'm talking to an adult, because so many adults still haven't done this critical step. They've done all the listening, they've watched all the videos, they've taken lessons, they've bought courses, and they're still kind of like frustrated with their English. And it's just like, dude, get out, talk to somebody. Hello. Okay, so how can a beginner of English conversation master it? Well, you do it by doing it. It's just like riding a bike. It's like, how can a beginner of riding a bike master riding a bike? Again, do you read a book about riding a bike? Sure, you can once. Do I watch a video about riding a bike? Sure, maybe once. After that, the only way to get better at riding a bike is by riding a bike. And then, it's crazy because like when I was a kid, you going down the streets. The first you start on the sidewalk, something safe, right? And you're like, okay, you ready for the challenge? You ready to go into the big street where the cars are? It's like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But you do it and you're like, okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. I'm getting used to it. Then I remember one time I was going back from the street to the sidewalk and I came in at a wrong angle and my tire didn't go over the bump and I kind of like crashed, right? And guess what I learned? Never do that again. And I haven't really crashed since then. I don't think. I crashed once, but that was coming around a blind turn, and that was in Tokyo. So you learn your lessons. Don't go around a blind turn really fast, right? But still, again, the only way to get better at riding a bike is by riding a bike, right? Am I right? So the only way you're going to get better at having a conversation is to get out there and actually have somebody to talk to, but not some teacher. And this is another thing that like teachers. Okay, teachers are there is a time and a place for a teacher, but it's very limited and it's very temporary. Like you can use a teacher for just like a little bit, just maybe like a few months at the most, but basically once you should like graduate from using a teacher. So here I speak English community class, people foreign country. uh don't understand that word after English, but community session or something like that. So basically, guys, I was in Kyoto for like a long time, for like a few months, and maybe I can find the video for you guys because like I found it really fascinating that I basically just went outside. I was walking around Kyoto, and I talked to maybe like 20 people in one day. Like I really talked to a lot of people in one day. And in fact, there's a few videos that I made, and it was kind of fun. You know what? I'm gonna put up the links. I'm looking for the links right now, just to see, just to show you guys that this one video that we made. Yeah, it was like I talked to like 10 people within 2 hours or something like that, and it's really simple. You just walk up and you just talk. You just give them your objective. You know what I mean? And you could argue it's easy for me because you're a YouTuber, right? But I was going up to foreign people, non-Japanese people, and I was talking to them. They don't know that I'm famous. You know what I mean? They just see some other foreigner walking around, but they hear that I speak English and they hear that I speak English fluently and they hear what I have to say. And I say, hey guys, you may not know me, but I'm a YouTuber. Would you guys like to be in my video? And they're like, yeah, that sounds fun, right? So, it is easy to talk to people if you just go up and tell them your objectives and you tell them what you want to talk about. So here's a video right here. Maybe I can get the link right here and share it with you guys because I want you to see just, it's like I'm barely even trying. And I can go up to people and just start talking. And it's just like, well, you guys can too. You just have to have your motive properly set. You have to properly get your reasons and your why. Why are you doing it, right? And if you don't have a reason to talk to somebody, then at least you can go out there and say hi. Here's a video right here. You can see one video right there. You can watch it now. You can watch it later. Doesn't matter to me. But you just see that, like it's like kind of like a switch. You just turn it on in your brain, and you just go out and you start talking to people, right? I do remember it was funny. One of those guys in the video, yeah, this little kid. We didn't film this part, but the kid was, I'm like, hey, little kid, are you practicing Japanese? And he's like, yeah, a little bit. I can say konnichiwa. I was like, cool. Well, guess what? Like, I learned how to speak Japanese. So if you want some tips, here's a tip. All right. When you see somebody walking by, just say konnichiwa in a really loud voice and then bow. All right. And they will say konnichiwa back or they will bow. Watch. And so people started walking by, and I just said like konnichiwa, and I like bowed, like, konnichiwa, and I bowed to like people, just random people walking by. And sure enough, a lot of people said konnichiwa, and a lot of people bowed back. So basically, yeah, exactly. Like all you got to do is say hi. It's kind of that simple. And the kid was really impressed because all you got to do is say hi or good afternoon, however you want to whatever you want to call it, right? Datte konnichiwa tte. So and I told the kid, I'm like, hey kid, go out there. I mean, this kid was like 5, all right, but I was like, kid, get out there. All you got to say is konnichiwa. Say it in a really loud voice. Bow. All right. Don't expect a response. If they don't respond, don't worry about it. Just keep saying it until you get somebody who's nice and talks back. All right. So yeah, there's those 2 videos if you guys want to see, because it's so easy. You just go outside and you talk to people. I mean, you say, like for example, for making these videos, I just say, hey guys, what's up? You guys want to be in a YouTube video, and that's my. Otherwise, it's like, well, why are you talking to people, right? Like, what's the point? And so it's like, well, I have a point. I'm making a video. You guys want to be in it? Yes. No. No. All right. Cool. Take it easy, because there's 50 other foreigners like on the shopping street. Express me, teacher. Did you go to the Japan? The prices? Whose prices? I went to Japan when I was in high school, and I joined an exchange program. For me, it was expensive. I don't know what you mean by prices, but yeah, 留学した方がいいですね。できればね。高いけど、頑張ってください。まあ、短期留学、まあ、後でちょっと、シェアするから。So, because I really want everybody to understand that it's easy to go talk to somebody. It's easy to say hi. And there's nothing to be embarrassed about by saying hi to somebody, because that's a friendly and polite thing to do, especially if they're tourists, right? Because tourists, they don't know anything. And I feel that when I'm here in Vietnam and somebody says hi to me, I actually feel kind of like nice. A lot of people say hi. They don't say hi. They say hello. And I feel like teaching them. I'm like, yeah, hello is like when you're on the phone. When you want to say somebody hi in the street, you should say what's up or something. But anyway, I'm not trying to teach anybody. But anyway, I feel appreciation for all the kids, all the people that say hi to me here in Vietnam. Say hello, right? I feel appreciation. So if you go to some foreigner and you see him walking around Kyoto or something, just say hi. That's it. That's it. And then if he ignores you, whatever. Now, is there something to talk about? I don't know. Like you tell me, right? Is there something to talk about? And that's where things get a little like funny because it's like, well, what are you going to talk about, right? And so if you're just on the street, it's a little harder to talk to somebody. But if you go to like the temple, or some otera or something like that, right? Then you can start talking about the temple. Hey, pretty beautiful temple, eh? Or wow, check out the fall leaves. Aren't the fall leaves beautiful, right? なんだっけ、紅葉。But then you actually got to start using some words that you know, right? You actually have to prepare yourself, right? だって英語でこう言って、なんて言うかな。じゃあ桜って英語でなんて言うんですかね? Cherry blossoms. You're like, hey, ever seen the cherry blossoms before? I mean, what do you want to say to a foreigner, right? And so you have to start thinking then, well, what do I want to say? And if you have nothing to say, then it's like, well, why do you want to speak English? Right? I mean, this is your problem, not mine. So, according to recent brain science data, language acquisition is possible no matter how old you are. If you're making a statement, I would believe it. I would definitely believe it, just based on what I know. And だって、大学しました。退学しましたっていうか、もう、I just stopped going because I was just like, too much classroom, too much students, too much books. I got to get out there and talk to people and figure out why they're having trouble speaking English. And I figured it out, but like, I don't want to go down that story. But from what I know, from my experience, that anybody at any age can acquire a second language. But the problem isn't the age, it is definitely 100% the method in which you're studying English. So I'm an old man and I understand, and I'm an old man and I'm understand English. Wait a second, I thought you were in junior high. Uh, so basically, guys, like the method is this. It's so simple because when you go to school, they give you a book, right? You start reading, you start writing, right? You're like, hey, I'm studying English, right? And then the teacher says, hey, look, you're studying English, right? 英語の勉強してるじゃん。すごいじゃん。じゃあ、TOEIC のスコアが、上がりました。英検が上手かったよね. You're like, wow, I'm studying, right? But you cannot, here, I'll do this again. I love doing this, but like you can't study with your eyeballs. Language, and this is why I get up into the mic right now. And I really want you to hear this now, guys. Here's the secret. English is a sound. You have to listen. There's no other way to study. Because if you look with your eyeballs, you're never going to hear it. And the only way to get the language into your brain is by listening to a sound. Guys, you got it. You got to listen to me. If you look at a book for 10 years, you're never going to learn the sounds. So basically, the frontal cortex is this place that stores visual information. And you guys have looked at books for 10 years. And oh my God, guess what? You've seen enough. You have to translate these visual information things that you're seeing into sounds. So, guys, seriously, you're doing it all wrong. You got to listen. And then not only got to listen, but you got to mimic. And what do you mean by mimic? And I'm like, well, here's how to mimic, right? So if I say, what are you going to do tomorrow? You say, what are you going to do tomorrow? It's very simple. You don't overthink it. So if I say accent, you say accent. It's really, if I say coffee, you say kohi. 違うか? No, you say coffee. Like it's almost like you just got to turn off your brain for a little bit. You just literally turn off your brain, stop thinking. All you got to do is listen and mimic real people. That's all you got to do. That's it. It's so simple. But you got to mimic real people. So when are you going to mimic real people if you don't talk to real people? Do you see the logical paradox that you're in? In order to speak English, you must speak English. but there's nobody to speak English to, so therefore you're not going to speak English. And if there's nobody to speak English to, then you cannot speak English. And so until you speak English, you cannot speak English. Am I making sense? これ日本語で説明した方がいいですか？英語で会話すると上達するんだよね。だって英語で喋りたいという目標があればな、英語で話す人がいなかったら、じゃあ英語で喋れないということね。で、喋れなかったら、じゃあ喋れないということで、で、喋れなかったら、じゃあ喋れないということで、話す相手がいなくて、じゃあ喋れないということで、喋れるようにならないだよね。本当にもう、もう他の言い方あるんですかね。So, there's the issue of money, right? But like I said, if you just go outside, you don't have to pay somebody to talk to. You just go out and you talk to somebody. It's kind of that simple. Like you just go out and you talk to somebody. But again, well, だって言いたいことがない。だって誰か声にかけて挨拶しても言いたいことない。じゃあなんで英語の勉強してんのって感じ。言いたいことがなかったら、じゃあ英語を諦めてもいいんじゃないって感じ。言いたいことがなかったら。ね。だから、there's people that like listening and like studying or whatever, and like for those people, great. But if your goal is to like speak English, that implies, no, it necessitates somebody to talk to. So, how do you get somebody to talk to becomes the question. Now, let's look at the アンケートね。アンケート出したんですけれども、if we look at the アンケートね、the poll, it looks like the answer is definitely, I mean, I don't have to, yeah, okay, here we go. So, 英語で話す相手がいる。先生以外。Nah. And so if we just end this poll right now, if you guys don't mind, just because I don't know, maybe it's more official that way if I end it. But 89% of you said no. Look at that. 88, excuse me. Wait. Wow, whatever, 89 it should be. Yeah, that's 100%, right? 35 people. Okay, so, okay. Guys, 正直に話しましょうか。話す相手がいなかったら上達できませんよ。Kevin's English のチャンネル登録しても、ky先輩のチャンネル登録しても、ね。リスニングの練習毎日しても、話す相手がいなかったら上達できませんよ。まあ、だから、ゾウさん、You don't need money. お金がいりません。外出て誰かに声かけてください。挨拶だけで大丈夫です。それ、まあ、ずっと言ってたんですけれども、本当に外に出て、まあ、東京か大阪か京都か、それとも田舎の方に住んどっても、どっかのお寺とか神社行って、挨拶するだけで十分勉強になるから。無料だし。本当にね、だって、everybody can go to Kyoto, everybody can go to Tokyo, right? Everybody can go to Osaka. Most of you guys live near big cities. So, seriously, お金がない。じゃあ、get it? Wow, you got enough money to ride the train to, Kyoto? That's about as much money as it takes, right? Is that you got to hop on the train and then go to Kyoto, right? But I guess でなんていう状況するお金がない、お登りみたいなね、I don't have enough money to go to the city, right? Well, then, okay, so you got the internet, right? So you can go on the internet and like you can go to chat rooms and stuff like that. But well, there you go. You could go all the way to Hawaii, but talk about money. But yeah, I mean, you basically 外に出てもお金が必要ですね。だって、I don't want I don't want you guys to do teachers, right? And I say that ironically in a kind of a sense because there are certain circumstances where having a teacher is helpful, but that does cost money. And that is for people who are just really extremely busy and they don't live near a big city. And I realize there's a lot of people that don't live in the city. I obviously uh, choose to live in cities. I mean, obviously, or whatever, but I've lived in the countryside and it's just a little too sleepy and boring for me. So for me, I can't live in the countryside. I have to be in like a big city kind of thing. Um, but I do understand that other people choose to live in the countryside, right? So with that said, it is a matter of like priorities. Like, how do you want to spend your life, right? Like, if you want to spend your life speaking English and having conversations in English, then it would really benefit you to go to a place that has a lot of English conversations, right? I mean, that's why I moved to Japan. I really wanted to speak Japanese, so I went to Japan so I can have more conversations in Japanese, and I got exactly what I was looking for. So, Vivian, nice question. What should I do after I say hello? Well, I would say at the beginning, just say hello to as many people as possible, and basically just wait for the response. So you say hello, wait for them. Well, and again, don't say hello if you're going to say it in English. You say either "What's up?" That's what I say. Literally, "What's up?" I'm from Californian. I could say whatever the hell I want. It's like, why would I say hello? There's like no reality in which I go up to somebody and say hello. Every time, even here in Vietnam, like the kids say hello to me, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, I don't even think like it's just what comes out. I'm a Californian. That's what I say. So, hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? So first of all, if you start the hello, which I wouldn't say hello, I'd say what's up. Hey, what's up? You just wait. You don't say anything. Wait for them. It conversation is like takyu. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Then you might have to say something, right? So, but in the beginning, what should you do after you say hello? You just wait, but don't say hello. Say what's up. Okay. So seriously, just say what's up. Let's see here. We got so, but then yeah, after they say hello, or what's up or whatever, then you have to have a reason, right? And so the trick is like only talk to people that you might want to talk to, right? So if I see a guy walking down the street and he's like got a guitar in his hand, I'm like, hey, what's up? You play Gibson? Yeah, so like I would talk about the guitar, right? So hopefully you're just not talking to random people. Like in the video, I'm not going to say which guy that I talked to, but basically he's in Kyoto and I can kind of tell that he's not my style of I would never become friends with this person. Let's just put it like that. I could just tell just by, his clothes and whatnot. And so but, I was making a video, so I talked to him anyway, but, like, it was just kinda obvious that there was no connection really, So, basically, after just saying hi to people, then you'll start to notice, well, what kind of people do I wanna talk to, I don't wanna talk to honestly, I don't wanna talk to Americans too much, right? I'd be more interested in talking to a British person. But even then, to be honest, do I want to talk to some like football fan? And the answer is no. I have no interest in football whatsoever. So if I see some British dude wearing some soccer jersey, I'm not interested. I don't want to talk to him. I have nothing to say to this person. So um, it really does. So Vivian, so at first, just say what's up, right? Say, I would say again, what's up, and then you'll start to learn. 言いたいことがないじゃん、この人。この人に別に so then you learn, well, who do you want to talk to? Who is the type of person you want to talk to? I mean, Vivian, do you want to talk to a guy? Do you want to talk to a girl? Do you want to talk to a beautiful guy? Do you want to talk to a beautiful girl? Do you want to talk to somebody that looks intelligent? Do you want to talk to somebody that looks healthy? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, either or, you're never going to know until you try. So basically, you get out there and say, "What's up?" And then you'll understand if there's something more to say after you start talking to them. So first step, just say what's up. All right, so now you study English. I'm happy time. Thank you. No problem. I'm trying to give you guys as much real English as possible. None of this bullshit lesson shit that you hear from the other videos. I'm telling you, the English that we say, we speak in reality is totally different than the things you're listening to on these lessons. So if I can help you guys get closer to that, then great. Online lessons like Cambly are much cheaper. Why should we choose Kai Senpai's personal lesson? Good question, Rockman, because this is not about being cheap. Like one of the things, I noticed is that on the online lessons for other companies is, they're using people from other countries with economies that have lower wages, right? So basically, you get what you pay for is something that we say a lot. And if you do, for example, learn with somebody that's from like the Philippines, for example, there's no problem with that if you just need to practice or whatever. But what happens is that over time, basically you start to pick up the habits of the people that you listen to. So there is definitely a Philippine English out there. It doesn't mean everybody speaks with a Filipino accent, but there's a lot of people that do. So it just all comes down to your goals, right? So if your goal is like, no, I just need somebody to listen to me, right? Then you can get the cheapest person you can find and just have speaking practice. But what I advocate, why I'm more expensive than everybody else, is that I'm actually going to teach you something, all right? Because a lot of free talk is like, hey, just randomly talk and there's no goal, right? I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, right? So if your pronunciation's off, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know kindly. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to be a dick about it. But at the end of the lesson, I have a list of things. I'm like, hey, you got to work on this. Like when you say boxing, it's not boxing, it's boxing, right? Like, so take my app and go home and practice, right? And then two, you're getting 100% California English. Three, you're getting 100% no bullshit. I'm teaching you what to say in reality. So again, like if you say hello, that's not how you say hello in reality. You say, what's up? What's up, dog? What's up, man? How's it going? These are the things that people say in America. Like, do not say hello. And so I can explain the truth, I think, a lot clearer than other teachers, because the other problem with teachers, my God, this is why they're so cheap, is they've never, a lot of them, not all of them, of course, but like, 第二言語の勉強したことないやん。だから、バイリングルになってない先生から学ぶことがありません。申し訳ない。なんか英語を教えてるって感じで、でもなんか自分でなんか第二言語勉強したことないやろ。だからどうすればいいか分かってないじゃん、先生が。で、そういう教えたことない、ね、教える経験がなくて、その上にね、どうすればいいか分かんないじゃん。じゃあとりあえず教科書読んであげてみたいな感じ。それで、ほとんどの、ね、英語ネイティブの先生がね、like they start to talk slowly because they want you to understand what I am saying. Do you understand? And by lowering the speed of what they're saying, basically what you get is a watered down version. You know what I mean? Like what I'm giving you is straight whiskey, right? But they're like watering it down with ice and with a little like lemon, a little Coca-Cola. They're trying to sweeten it. They're making it entertaining. And they really start to talk in a way that is unnatural because they want you to understand what I'm saying. Because the truth is, when you talk normally, you don't understand, right? So what I'm saying is that if you get to my speed, then you're going to understand what I'm saying. But how are you going to get to my speed if nobody teaches you my speed? Do you see what I'm saying? That everybody in America talks like me. It's exactly how I'm doing it. Like I stutter, I say things, I change my mind, but then again, I can go off and start talking really fast like I do, and that's how people normally talk. And any American listening right now is going to be like, "Yeah, I understand what you're saying, 100%." there's not been one point, I don't think, where I've gotten off the rails and like lost the plot. I think anybody that's listening right now, any American, any native speaker would listen to what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're totally as normal as one can be in a one-way conversation like this. You're talking normal. So if you guys don't understand what I'm saying, then you got to get up to my level, our level. This is not my level. This is our level. Every Californian, every American that speaks English, any British person, any Australian, any Filipino person that it really speaks English can really understand what I'm saying without any other problems because this is normal. This is normal. So when you have this like Cambly teacher and he's like, so in today's lesson, we will be talking about the past participle. It's not going to help you at all. So yeah, 価値があるよ、俺のレッスンって。Rock man. Thanks. That's a good question. When are you going to get it? Was asked about the transfer of trains. I was very happy to be able to communicate with them. I spoke English in a few words. Nice. Nice. Help people do it. You know, it's so cliche, but like that whole lost foreigner, like I get it. And yeah, I was like in Thailand. I was in Bangkok. あさってまた Bangkok 戻るんだけどね. But I was like, man, I don't understand anything. Like, I don't know where I'm at. And then I just got off like the airplane, so I didn't have Wi-Fi set up yet. So it's just like, what is going on? Like, I have no idea. So if somebody offers help, I'll be like, yeah, which way do I go? Because I don't even know which way north is, you know? And I'm pretty good at knowing which way north is. Shit. North, I think, is that way. I think. Yeah, because okay. So anyway, but yeah, when I'm lost, it's like anybody that can help it'd be nice. So I kind of remember what it was like when I first got to Tokyo, and Tokyo is so overwhelming that like yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you know, I don't remember. We transferred trains so many times. I didn't know which way north was, south was. I didn't remember anything. I had no idea where it was. Oh, Yoneko, thank you so much. But yeah, so if you see a tourist and he looks lost, he probably is. It's cliche, but like there's no problem. Like, hey, do you need it? Just like, hey, where are you trying to go? That's probably like the natural way to say it. Yeah, I mean, again, you could like, "Kyo kasha teki ni, are you lost?" or something like that. Like, but hey, where are you trying to go? Like, just assume ね。勝手に、あ、この人どっか行こうとしてるでしょ? So, hey, where are you trying to go? って言ってあげて。You got to go. Oh shit, you're really lost. Okay, so you got to go down these stairs, turn left, take the west exit, A2. で、そこまで知ってるかまあ、わかんないけど、you know, 新宿、渋谷とかさ、those are really complicated stations. But again, if you do see somebody, you might as well try and say, hey, you look lost, or you look lost で当たり前だから、hey, where are you trying to go? だけで十分ですね。Then, if you can't help them, say, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know how to get there. Good luck. Or you can at least tell them where the ticket window is so they can talk to somebody that maybe does know. You know what I mean? So, anyway, yeah, but yeah, if you see somebody lost at the station, by all means, all of you, just say, hey, where are you trying to go? That's it. All right, so I can on not online. Get out there, get out to the real world. That's what you gotta do. So go to Kyoto, go to Tokyo, go out into the real world, talk to somebody, say what's up. That's it. Clearly understand it's important to have curious people learning something exact. So when you go and you talk to somebody again, and be like, hey, um, why am I talking to you? Exactly. Why do we talk to anybody, right? If there's no point. So, you know, one of the cool things that I do, here's a little tip because there's 33 of you. I'm going to teach you the secret. This is one of the things that I do is that I'll just show you. Uh, so if I go to like a temple or something like that, Kyoto or something, I wear this around my neck. anybody that knows photography knows that red dot. So that's how you talk to photographers. And you go to a temple, you go to a little otera or jinja, a shrine, and you'll see a lot of photographers. So then, if you happen to like photography, you see a camera that you like, you're like, hey, nice camera. You know what I mean? Like, what's your interest, right? If you like photography, then talk photography with somebody, right? Like, if you like sports, go to where the sports people are. It's really a matter of you finding you. It's a matter of you finding your interest and what's interesting to you. And you think in Japanese. 興味あんの？なんか趣味とかあんの？写真好き？スポーツ好き？ヨガが好き？じゃあそのまま英語のね、how do you say like alternative 探してくださいって感じですね。英語バージョン探してくださいって感じですね。So it's easy. You just really have to put in the effort. So all this to say, um, don't you don't have to go to lessons. You could really go out there into reality and talk to people. Once you start talking to people, you're going to get better. It's just it's a law. It's like gravity. Listening to Carpenter is like a yeah. Go ahead again. Listening is fine, but you got to get out there and talk to people. So, and especially if you're an old man, because if you've been listening and 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 listening, it really gets to a point to it's like, well, when are you going to say something? When are you going to talk to somebody? And that excuse is basically just fear, and the fear is unfounded because it's imaginary and delusional because you haven't actually talked to somebody. And even if you do go out and say what's up to somebody, it's not like they're going to get angry. It's not like you're going to like die. You just go out and talk to somebody. So again, guys, coming full circle, get out there and talk to somebody. Yeah. So if like you like baseball, you go to the sports bar. It's that simple. You go to the sports bar, playing a baseball game. Like honestly, I would like to watch the WBC game at a bar if I was in Japan. That's a game I would like to see because I got to see, what is it, 2009 or something? I got to see the WBC. I got to see most of the Japan games because, long story short, I was able to go. My student happened to be the client of one of the pitchers on the Japan team. And so the pitcher was able to get tickets for my student, and he was able to get two tickets. And he was like, "Hey, I can get tickets to WBC. Do you want to go to California?" I was like, "Yeah, let's go to California. Let's go watch baseball." And then Japan kept winning, so we were seeing like the opening round, and we got the semifinals, and then they're like, "Oh, they're going to the finals." And he's like, "Oh, I got to go back to work." I'm like, "Yeah, but like." How often are you going to see the finals, right? And like we got to go to see the finals. It was Japan versus Korea, and it was one of the best fucking games of my life. Like if you like baseball, and I grew up playing baseball, I grew up playing. I was like a pitcher, I was a big left-handed pitcher or whatever. That was one of like the best experiences ever. When Ichiro hit that hit right up the middle into center field, it won the game, right? Like it's what baseball's all about. And so if you like baseball, go to where the baseball people are. It's that simple. And so you could just fly to America and go to a stadium. That's one way to do it. Or, if you can't go to the stadium, you just go to a bar where they're watching the game. So simple, right? So yeah, if there was one thing I'd say, it'd be like, man, I kind of wish I could go watch the baseball game at a bar, but I'm in Vietnam right now. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to be watching the game. ちょっと検索してみるね。だって、その WBC 見れたら見に行くね。So, Yoneko, I learned a lot from you about me. You started English class 7th grade with a teacher, a strong Japanese accent, of course, and he was Japanese. I'm over 60, but still learning English. Well, hey, there's no problem because, no matter how old you are, right? It's really a matter of sound, listening, and mimicking. That's it. And it's just basically more than anything, forgetting all the bad lessons that you had before. and creating new habits, basically. So the more you do it, the better you get. And so it's kind of like polishing a stone, right? And just because like the stone is like not polished doesn't mean you can't polish it. You just need uh, tools to really how do you say polish it faster and harder, right? So that's why you can polish it by hand and you'll get it done, right? But then you can get like a polishing gun and just and really and the way it gets polished is the frequency of the interaction between the polishing stone and the stone, right? So every time you go around and actually cause friction, then you get better. In the same way with speaking English, the more times you actually talk to a person, the more times your ear hears the sound and gets the friction. And with that friction, your brain actually starts to adjust to it. So basically, the more you talk to people, the faster you get better. The less you talk to people, you don't get better. It's that simple. So thank you for the comment though, Yoniko. I appreciate that. Yeah, and then, yeah, tomorrow is the baseball game. Again, I wish I could see it. We'll see. I'm in Vietnam right now, so I don't know if anybody's going to be playing the game or not at the bar. But if they are, I'm going to go check it out because I'm definitely uh, America versus Japan. Yeah, so like, who's going to win? Like that's an exciting game. So anyway, guys, let me just close out the hour here because I'm hungry. It's time to go to my local neighborhood. I think I'm going to get a sandwich, just because for various reasons. But it's simple and it's quick and it's tasty. And basically, um, if you guys want, and this is totally if you want, because if you guys know, I am a YouTuber, right? Blah, blah, blah. But in what I'm doing, the most important thing that I'm doing right now is I am uh, developing an app, and the app is almost finished. I am literally waiting for the developer to finish a few things. It should have been finished by last week. However, the developer misinterpreted what Apple said. I mean, talk about the importance of language. But yeah, basically, he made a mistake and he did all this work that Apple didn't ask to get done. So anyway, the app's not done. So you guys are going to be noticing a big difference in my videos coming soon. I'm going to be making a lot more, and I'm going to start making videos even for beginners and stuff like that. I'm going to really try to really push the app because I want everybody to use this app. But in the meantime, basically, what I can offer for anybody that needs help, right? Because, like I say, go out there and talk to somebody. But I can't just go out and talk to somebody because I got a full time job, I got like a family, I live far away. It is just way more convenient to do it online, right? And so, if you're going to do something online, if you want to do some sort of like conversations online, I can help you with that because basically, I am not that busy right now because I'm waiting for the app to get finished. Once the app is finished, I'm going to be busy. So, in my free time, basically, I can help you. If you guys want to do a lesson, I just posted the link right there in the chat window. But if you guys want to do a lesson with me, I have some time. I'm only looking for maybe about 3 or 4 people because basically once once the app is ready, I'm gonna get busy again. So basically, this is just something to do in the meantime. It's to offer anybody that needs a hand, and by hand I mean a mouth because an ear because like the whole point is that we're gonna do some conversations and we can talk about anything that I just talked about today, but also obviously I'll listen to you and assess your situation and give you advice on what you need to be doing to get better. And don't be surprised if I repeat what I just said tonight to you. Like, hey, you got to get out there and talk to people because I don't want this to be a long term thing. I really don't believe in teachers. I don't believe in schools. I believe that you should have some sort of like, I don't know, kind of like a tour guide kind of thing. But at the end of the day, it's just the beginning kind of thing. Like once you get the hang of talking in English, you don't need a teacher. You just talk. You just go out there and you do it. You make friends and you speak English like on a normal basis because that's just what you do. You know what I mean? Like I really don't believe in teachers for anybody at all after like 3 months. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, yeah, but yeah, yeah. So, and as long as you're having fun with the teachers too, like again, there's no problem with teachers. But in my professional opinion, as somebody that's learned Japanese or somebody that's learned another language, is that like you only need a teacher maybe the first year you're studying English. After that, there's definitely the only reason I would say is that you're in the countryside and you're busy. So the convenience of talking to people online is worth the price, basically. But what I do advocate is that getting out there and talking to people is the best way to do it. Um, well, hey, Takeo-san, thank you for even watching though, because this is the point, right? Like, I mean, look, when I first came to Japan and I was watching TV, I only understood zero. I like nothing. I understood nothing, but I sat there and I watched all the Wadai Bangumi and stuff like that. And like I kept watching and listening and listening and listening. で今でもね、なんか日本テレビ見てもすべてわかんないけど、今言いたいことくらい分かってるから、ね、that's good enough for me って感じ。英語を勉強してるのは素晴らしいですね。Yeah, guys, and yeah, thanks for supporting each other too, because like, there is no age limit. It's, I honestly believe with 100% certainty that the English schools method of teaching people is wrong. And that is the only reason why people are not feeling satisfied with speaking English. Because if you were satisfied, you don't go to school. If you're satisfied, you don't watch lessons, you watch TV shows. You know what I mean? Like if I want English interaction, right? Like I'm traveling around the world, right? So it's like, yeah, I just need to take a break, relax a little bit. I watch a TV show. I don't watch like a lesson. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, like watching a lesson, watching something in English is kind of like a way to have a conversation without having a conversation. You know what I mean? Like I'll be in some city, I don't know anybody, nobody, I haven't met anybody yet, but you know, I kind of want somebody to talk to. So you just watch a TV show where there's dialogue, right? And you're like, oh, that's cool. I feel satisfied by watching that, right? So I just watch TV shows. I don't watch English lessons. Why on earth would I watch an English lesson? They're boring. They're absolutely boring. Like I I try to make original content, right? Something original, something that's going to teach you. But like one of the things that I have not been doing is I've not been doing that skit thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, 書きくけこう、じゃあ発音の、コントをやりましょうという、I don't even know. Like I just see like Daijiro-san or something like that. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think that's interesting. But anyway, that's just me. Trying to make original content for you guys, but basically the thing with making like skits and stuff like that is it's fake. It's like scripted, right? And I don't know if you guys trust me or not, but like I'm not reading a script to you guys at all, other than like the few ideas that I have in my head about like learning a language. But that's just based on experience. You know, my script is my experience basically. So yeah, this isn't premeditated in any other fashion other than that. Like, hey, I'm just gonna hit record because I know that you guys listening to actual unscripted English is the best thing that you could possibly be doing given the circumstance. Talking to somebody in reality right now, all coming full circle here. I'm trying to do my best to help you guys with the limited resources that we have. But you got an internet connection, I got an internet connection, and I'm able to help. Right now, like it looks like 33 people, right? So it's like cool, cool, cool. I'm glad that I was able to help today. And if I could help any more, you can check out that link over there. And if you guys really want to do it, I'm only recommending, 4 weeks at the most, because, like I said, I want you guys to graduate. I want you to stop paying for teachers. I want you to get out there, make a friend, go to a baseball game, go to a temple, go out, talk to somebody, look at the camera, praise the camera, whatever it is. Find something interesting, find somebody interesting, and connect with that person and really learn about yourself, because the more you follow your own interests, the more you're going to enjoy life, right? You're like, well, 英語という興味があるんだけど、みたいな、いや、英語という興味って、I'm interested in English just because, like, I'm like a linguist, right? Like, I'm like a bilingual, whatever, right? So, but there's a lot of people that just don't care about language at all. So it's like, well, what are you going to talk about? Like lessons, like 英語ネイティブの人って英語のレッスンの話するのって感じ. So it's like somewhere we got to get real. Somewhere you got to like actually connect with somebody in a meaningful way. But the only way you're going to do that is if you get out there and talk to somebody. And then Kyomo says English is very more complicated than Japanese. Yeah, Kyomo, but that you can learn that in 3 months. 3ヶ月しかかかんないよ。だって it's not that complicated. I know you think it might be complicated, but it's not. You just have to learn it. だって逆にね、なんか日本語って、漢字がいっぱいあるんじゃないですか。千字三千字とかあるんじゃないですかね。普通に新聞読みたかったらね。あれは難しいんだよ。あれは無理って感じだけど。ね。で、例えばなんかアメリカ英語の13個の母音があるんだけど、それしかないよ。13しかないよ。母音が1000個2000個の母音がないよ。13個しかない。So, yeah, anyway, it's not that hard. Really. 3 months, you can do it. 見て、小学生ですね。You guys are talking to each other. Cool. Yeah, and if you're short on money, go outside. Like take a train ticket, go to some place where people are gathering. You know what I mean? Like a temple or a cafe or the downtown Kyoto, downtown Tokyo, and go to where the English speakers are. It costs you a train ticket. And if you don't have enough money for a train ticket, then go to your PlayStation and play Fortnite, because Fortnite's a free game. Get a headset and talk to people while playing the game. And if you don't have enough money for that, get a job. That's all I can say. So listening problems are a huge barrier standing in the way. So yeah, well, listening problems are a barrier, but the only way to break that listening barrier is by mimicking. By mimicking, you actually, so it's like, okay, there's the barrier, right? And here's all the English sounds, right? Like and whatever, R, L, right? And you're like, 聞き取れないって感じですね. Well, get in there, mimic it, right? So, and so you create a space in your head that, like, once you move your mouth, you're literally creating that space for the sound, right? And so, like, once you really focus, and the way I would do it, and you can get my app, and again, my app's not ready, so it's really hard to talk about it, but you get my app, and basically you just focus on one sound a day. And so you're just like, okay, I'm going to focus on ah. Today is ah. And so you start listening to the English speakers, and every time you hear the ah sound, even if you don't understand the word, just realize that you heard the ah sound, right? So in Japan, and then I got a plan, and then all of a sudden you really understand that, like, you can hear that sound everywhere it goes. Now, I'm not going to do it on purpose right now because I really want you to pay attention to one sound and one sound only, and that would be the ah sound. So if I say it again, notice it, because that sound is really there if you just pay attention to it. You don't have to understand every single word, but the ah sound will come up again. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to come up and which word it's going to come up in, but it's not like I'm planning this, other than I just maybe plan to say that one. But but you will hear the sound if I keep talking long enough, right? And so you understand that long is an right? So that's like not the same, right? And so you just keep listening to the sounds until you hear that sound again. And I'm not sure when it would happen, but in March and April and May and June, I don't have any plans to come to. Oh wait, that's right. I do have plans to go to Japan in April. And so, do you see what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? It's like, okay, cool. You get used to it. And that's just like what, a 30 second, a minute. I did that for a minute. Like, imagine listening to all day English and you're just listening to English all day. And you're just like, okay, I've been listening to English all fucking day. And it's like, okay, I finally think I hear that ass sound. It keeps coming up all day long. So, all right, cool. But that's how you do it, one sound at a time. And like I said, there's not that many sounds. There's only plus the consonants, there's only like 40 or something like that. でも日本に入ってない音がそんなにないからさ. One of the other things is that you got to start telling yourself in positive stories. English is difficult って何回も繰り返したらね、もう English is difficult しか信じられないって感じですね. So English is simple if you do it correctly. English is simple if you just pay attention to sounds. English is simple, if you use ky senpai no eigo kara furigana, but again, appli ga mada dekite nai kara. Okay, my kanji is horrible. My written kanji is shit. I can read kanji a lot better, but I can't write it. I was thinking about ky senpai, like, can I write ky senpai? I can't write senpai. Senpai って線書けるけど、先輩、パイの先輩書けない。ごめんね。Yeah, you study English every day, but get out there and talk to somebody. Get out there and talk to somebody. Then, Mamma Mia, 22. Okay, so, and then, 難しいか何が what I'm saying right now? But like I said, this is the real deal. So, おはようございます。LA からステラが LA から来ましたね. Thank you for tuning in. But I'm out of here. It's been over an hour of me just going blah blah blah. It's time for me to go. I need to go eat because I've been hungry all day. I've been riding around my bike. I'm only going to be here in Danang for about 2 more days. And so I was like, I got to see more of the city. I've been wasting too much time making videos because, like, I'm trying to make these videos that everybody sees, right? I'm so busy, blah, blah, blah. But basically, yeah, I got to get outside. I got to eat something. So, guys, take it easy. Have a good night. Thanks for coming, Stella. But maybe next time I could, hey, what time is it? Hey, Siri, what time is it in California?
It's 5:04 a.m.
My God, you're up early. Jesus. Yeah. Maybe for people in America, I could do like a different time or something like that. But Lucy, thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. No burger for me today. It's just gonna be a sandwich. Told you the sound would come up again. You've been watching for a while. Why? Go to bed. Get some rest. So yeah, good morning, but it's good evening for me. It's time to go to bed. So yeah, guys, take it easy. Have a good one. And I don't live anywhere. I live around the world. I've been traveling. Long story short, developing the app. I want to travel the world. I work digitally. Yeah, I don't live anywhere right now. So yeah. I'll be back in Japan soon, guys. Don't worry. I'll let you know when I get back. All right, guys, take it easy. And again, anybody that really does want to have that teacher, which I don't recommend, ironically enough, but like if you do need a teacher, there's a link right there. So cool. It seems it was too late to come here. It was, no-san. Next time. Maybe if I do this often enough, I can start to find like a set time when to do this. Because like in Japan, it's like 9:05, right? That seems like a reasonable time when everybody's kind of back home, right? Ready to chill, relax, get some entertainment in, watch something, right? Maybe I can do that. So we'll see. Well, and then also too, don't you have a chance to speak English right now? And now it's not speaking, but like at least you're thinking in English. So if you type something in English, it's like, hey, cool, at least you're thinking in English, right? So can you imagine thinking in English all day? Yeah, it's so hard. Yeah, good. Well, this is exactly what happens, and it does hurt when you do English all day. And I've been talking for an hour, right? Imagine doing it for 10 hours. You will get tired. You need to take a break. You need to step away from it. You need silence. You need to meditate. You need to take a walk. There's like a time to engage, and there's a time to not engage. There's a time to talk, there's a time not to talk. So, do I speak any other languages? No. まあ、俺のエスパニョールが超下手だからさ、この間メキシコ行ってきて、忘れたって感じですね。なんか高校生の時、スペイン語の勉強してたんだけどね、忘れた。イライラするね。I wish I could speak Spanish, but I don't. And then Vietnamese is impossible. There's just no way. I'm not gonna learn it. So, no, I don't live here. I'm just visiting. I wanted to go to the beach. It was too cold in Japan. I was in Kyoto, and I really like Kyoto, but it was way too cold. And I was like, I got to get out of here. So I just hopped on a plane and went to a warmer place. And I'm here in Vietnam, and it is nice. I'm telling you, the weather today, it was like 30 degrees, but just like, and this is March. It's perfect. Y así, ¿por qué? Porque no tengo tiempo para practicar. Tengo las palabras del colegio, pero no tengo la experiencia del mundo porque no hay, como se dice, conoces para hablar con gente, pero en México City, Ciudad de México, hay muchas gentes que hablan en inglés. Es muy fácil para yo porque soy de California. Ok, am I blah, blah, blah. Some people say that when you pronounce English, you should say it out loud from your throat. Is that true? Where else would you say it from? From your armpit? Yeah, I mean, just talk. Just don't even don't with throat or your stomach or whatever. Just talk. Pronounce. You have to. The sound. The brain like is directly connected, right? And so like the only way to like practice pronunciation is by literally talking. It doesn't matter if it's your throat. Obviously, it's when we feel so just talk. Just all you got to do is talk. Don't overthink it. That hurt. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was watching you through a TV screen and I switched to PC so I can send you comments. Well, still, that's nice. But watching me on the TV, that's scary. I think that's a little too big. Like, モニターが広すぎてさ、メイクしてないし、恥ずかしいですね。But thanks for watching on the big screen. I appreciate that. So I'm out of here, guys. I'm hungry. So again, I'm trying to like I keep saying it, but if you guys need that help, there's the link right there. And thank you. My God, I'm so embarrassed. Like I feel like I seriously need to put on like a suit or something like that. But it's hot. It's hot here in Vietnam, so I'm like trying to cool down too. All right, guys, take it easy. Whopper. Where do we get a Whopper? Well, maybe I can get a Whopper in Bangkok. But anyway, guys, have a good one. Take it easy. Good night. And there is no fast food in Vietnam. I saw a KFC actually, and that was the first fast food restaurant that I saw. I have not seen a McDonald's here. I've not seen a Burger King here. I've not seen a Taco Bell here. There's two Starbucks that I saw, but I saw one KFC, just one. And I almost got it. Just kidding. Okay, guys, have a good night. Thanks for watching. Peace out. In stream. Vivian, see you later. I wish I had a phrase to say at the end of the thing. Till next time. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Muchas gracias. De nada.